Wake up, CFO gang. It's your boy Jay Tuck. Real Cowboys fan, stand up and salute to everybody already in the building. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's get it, man. We talking running backs. Can't wait. Yeah, we're going to talk about running backs today. I see my dog Lou in the building. I see my dog Sin City in the building. Davis in the building. Marky's in the building. Jonathan was in the building. Splendid's in the building. L Rock is in the building. We are all in the building today. Kind of going improv, like this wasn't really scheduled, but I'm playing with the brand new software. And I always tell you guys, in the off season is when I work on my game too. So I'm working on this brand new streaming software that can give me a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know your boy likes to produce a little bit, but I like to get a little bit tricky when it comes to my production, but I also want to simplify it, man. So this little chat thing, it's all brand new software, and it looks like it's working as of right now. But I want to talk about a few things, man. So make sure y'all go out there and share the content. My dog CFT's in the building. What's going on with you, bro? Like I said, we're kind of going improv. Cover 3 tomorrow night. Confirm. Tap in because y'all know we're going to do it big on Cover 3. Salute to my Cover 3 brothers in DMV and Rome. So perfect segue. Do I have my colorful charts ready? Yes, I actually do. So I want to go ahead and just dive head first, if you will, into what kind of happened what Friday. Now, if you guys follow this channel, if you are CFO gang for real, you know, Friday night we was vibing. We was sitting back. We was playing roulette. My dog Lou Takes, he jumped in the chat. He challenged your boy to college football 25, and I had to put that L, man. It hurts. It hurts when you have to kill somebody you love. You see what I'm saying? It really does hurt when you have to kill somebody you love. But my dog Lou wanted that smoke on Friday night, and you know my Kansas Jayhawks and Devin Neal, we provided all the smoke, and we went out there and got the dub. So Friday night was cool. We was all vibing. I think we live streamed for almost 2 hours. Hey, a win is a win. What they say in Fast and Furious, Lou, it doesn't matter if you win by inch or a mile. We taking them pink slips, bro. We taking them pink slips. You know what I'm saying? So I had to play Lou on the road. So you know when you play college football 25, you can't call no audibles. You can't make no adjustments. So he didn't even get my high-octane offense, but I just ran the ball. Good old-fashioned power offense, lined up behind a fullback, and got dirty and grimy. You know what I'm saying? But Lou ain't even seen my full playbook. You see what I'm saying? But, you know, I want to kind of talk about what happened Friday. All right. So, boom, you know, I was just kind of just chilling, vibing, doing what we do best. And notice my dog Amari Hampton posted that he was in Dallas. Posted that he was in Dallas for a 30. I said, oh my. You know what I'm saying? Because I follow O on him on Instagram. And I said, oh my dog's he's in Dallas. So I got excited. I posted his Instagram post that he was in Dallas. Other people posted the same thing, right? And then my guy, Joseph Hoyt, salute to Joe, man, good guy, DLLS, definitely give those guys a follow, Clarence, Kavanaugh, so all of them, Jesse Holly, so they do a phenomenal job where it's really a fun show, right? So my guy, Joseph tags me in it, like, Amari Hampton, what's your thoughts on him taking a 12? And you guys know, if Amari Hampton is at 12, I'm taking him, right? This is not anything new, right? So then what happens? Marcus Mosher, if you guys are familiar with Marcus, he's a writer for, I think like Locked On something. And I have no ill will. And I think that's the problem. A lot of people will see my interactions on Twitter and think I don't like these people or I hate these people. No, I think me and Marcus Mosher are Facebook friends or something like that. I never really have no problems with any of these people. I really don't know them, right? But then he comments and was like, anyone taking Hampton at 12 would be the worst pick or something. I forgot. I'm not going to go through all the, you know what I'm saying? Y'all can follow. It's still up, right? And I was like, well, okay, well, cool. Well, I will take Hampton at 12. People ask Jay Tuck, would I, Jay Tuck, take Hampton at 12? And I said, yes, I would. Now, what you do, I have no control over that. But yes, I would, right? And then it was this whole thing about, that's insane because no experts have even remotely compared Genty and Hampton or something else. But I'm like, one, there has been. Mel Kiper has mocked Amari and Hampton to the Dallas Cowboys like numerous times. And two, I don't go off of experts. I mean, you guys have followed me long enough. I don't go off the consensus board. I don't see what Mel Kiper is saying and base my opinion off of that. And I don't, watch what other people say and base my opinion off of that. I do my own work, right? And it's no different than some of you guys might work on cars. You might know how to fix your engine, fix your brakes, change your oils, rotate your tires, right? So you guys know how to fix your stuff and work on your own car. You don't care what the guy at AutoZone is saying about the proper parts. You know how to fix your own damn car. You know what I'm saying? Hence, my Twitter personality is different. I think because it comes off that way, right? I was just saying, like, goddamn, bro, like, I don't follow any experts. So whatever the experts say, that has nothing to do with me. All right. So it's this on and on thing all Friday night, trying to ruin my Friday night after I just got my victory versus Luke. Well, then what happened? Not even 24 hours later, my guy Jordan Schultz, salute to JS, man. He's on Think, or not Think, they changed it, whatever that show is. It used to be Think, right? Salute to the super chat, my dog. We'll get to that here in a second. Appreciate you. He comments that scouts and teams are saying Amari and Hampton is flying up draft boards, and they think that Amari Hampton and Genty will both go early in the draft, just like Bijan, just like Gibbs did, right? Which was the same exact thing I told you guys when I was sitting there live streaming at the Combine. I feel like this is going to be a Bijan Gibbs part 2. It's not going to be Genty goes 6 and then Hampton goes 29th, and there's this massive gap before running backs. Running backs are in style more than they ever been before. All right. So I think there's going to be a premium value on running backs. I would probably bet money, wink, wink, DraftKings, go ahead and load it up, that there will be 3 running backs drafted in the first round, possibly even 4, right? So that was a whole debacle, right? So, of course, going back to what Donald was saying, am I petty? Am I a gracious winner? Absolutely not. Ask my kids. Ask my wife. Like, we literally are playing some family games yesterday, and I won. When I won in Monopoly, you're going to hear on Sunday that I won in Monopoly. When I beat my kids in Mario Kart, they are still going to hear that Dad beat their ass in Mario Kart. So am I a gracious winner? No, but I've never been, even since I was a kid, right? That's the whole fun of winning. You know what I'm saying? How do you handle that? Don't lose, right? So, of course, I was kind of high-stepping all over Marcus Mosher, but what I was really doing is leading an example of stop playing with my credibility and stop trying to put me out this angry, crazy Twitter account that just puts things out just randomly. That is not the case, and I will show you guys my thought process here in a second. Let me go ahead and get to this super chat. Once again, Spirit of Detroit podcast, appreciate you. I'm for Detroit, and I thank God every day that I literally drafted the best young running back in the league at 12. Although I need a D-line and a pass rusher, wouldn't trade Gibbs for anything. For anything. Y'all, I'm going to sit there and just let that marinate right there. Right? Now, I know based off of the draft value chart, maybe you could have got a running back for different value, right? I know based off, bro, you went and got one of the best running backs of the draft. And another thing about the Detroit Lions, they also went and got a linebacker in the first round too, and they turned right back around and got pretty much, if you want to say first round, in a tight end too, because Sam Laporta is pretty much like the second pick or first pick of the second round. Dan Campbell did not care about no draft value chart. He says, we need a running back. When they already had David Montgomery, but they also needed a dynamic running back. He went and got that. We need a linebacker. He went that and got that with Captain Jack. We also need tight end. He went and got that. Real teams who are trying to win, y'all, they don't care about these colorful value draft charts. I know for fantasy football, that's cool. And like I'm saying, here in 3 weeks after the draft, all the fantasy football guys have at it. If you want to say this and that, and you shouldn't take this guy and PPA and all sorts of stuff, right? Have at it. But as of right now, the Dallas Cowboys, even though he had 1,000 yards, Rico Dowdle scored 2 rushing touchdowns. Two. We don't have the time or have the roster where we need to be cute worrying about value and what I can possibly get later. If you have a guy on your board that is top 2, top 3, top 10, top 15, and he falls to you, you go get him. This trying to get it later stuff that the Cowboys do, don't do it. We are going into the draft with massive holes, y'all. Massive holes. Now is not the time to go get cute. Now it's not the time to go get cute and say, you know what, we had Hampton at a top 10 grade, which you probably would consider, and I'll show you guys this in a second, but we wanted to wait maybe, and like, no. If you know that you need a running back and he is the best running back available, just go get him. Don't leave it up to chance. Now, let's see here. Having a good back means everything. It does. It does. It makes life easier on your quarterback. It makes life easier on your play caller or your offensive coordinator. It makes things easier on your offensive line. It makes things a whole lot easier. Raiders go Genty, Bears go Hampton. That is a strong situation. That is a strong scenario where Genty goes to the Raiders and the Lions' former offensive coordinator says, well, I'm going to give me one too. And they turn around and snatch Hampton. All right. So, but to act like a Genty is way up here and he's worthy of a pick at 12, but Hampton is chopped liver, I just don't see it. But I'm not just going to talk it, y'all. I'm going to show you guys my philosophy and behind the scenes. So we are going to go and lift up the hood. Now, I will tell you this. Some people might be mad at me for revealing some of these things, but y'all know on this channel, gotta keep it a buck. We have to keep it a buck. So let's go ahead and get into it real quick. I'm going to show you guys this, all right? All right, so what this is, you're probably seeing this for the first time, and I've gotten access to. Now, this is outdated. This is before the college football season even began, so this changes, right? But this is the Bledsoe report, and this is the National Scouting Report, right? So this is what a lot of media members use. So all the prospects, they're lined up here. You know what I'm saying? You can go for days, right? This is all from 2024 before the college football season started, all right? Now, guess who was the number 1 prospect according to all of the scouts going into the college football season? It wasn't Travis Hunter. It wasn't Abdul Carter. It was Luther Burden, all right? Keep that in mind. It was Luther Burden. So last year, if you go back and backtrack, like last year before college football, when everyone was talking about wide receivers, they were talking about Luther Burden, right? Why is that? It's because of this report, right? Do you guys honestly think, let me know in the chat, that Mel Kiper watches film on Luther Burden, Travis Hunter, Benjamin Moore, Will Campbell, Harold Parkins, DeMonte Kiper? He is scouting all of these players and making his analysis on national TV? Absolutely not. Mel Kiper is not doing that. None of these media people are doing that. What they are doing is they got this subscription to this report, and this is all fed over here, letting you know what their rankings are. So when people say, I talk to scouts or we talk to scouts, and scouts are saying absolutely not, probably what they're doing is seeing this be updated. Luther Burden was number 1. Deion Walker was number 2. Abdul Carter, you had Travis Hunter, right? So if you come over here, it shows their draftable grades. You know what I'm saying? So Luther Burden, right, a draftable grade, 7.9. The scouts had him graded as a 7.5. All right, this is Tuck showing y'all the truth. I'm telling y'all the sauce. You know what I'm saying? So if I end up missing, you know what I'm saying? All right, so cool. So when you come to this report, all right, going into the season, you had Ashton Genty at what, 12? It's probably 11, right? 11. Okay, 11. Okay, let's say 11. But a few spots below it is Amari Hampton. So even going into the season, Amari Hampton wasn't that far off behind Ashton Genty. Now we know that the season production-wise that Ashton Genty put up in his Heisman campaign, all right? But from a skill set perspective, it isn't like Ashton Genty gained some new skill set and Amari Hampton lost his, right? Like Amari Hampton had a massive injury and that's the difference. No, the only difference is Genty went out there and had a hell of a season, but let's not act like Amari Hampton didn't have a hell of a season at the running back position. So when you look at it from a skill perspective, even the scouts did not have a massive line between the two. Y'all with me here? We cooking. I know it's Sunday and we gonna preach today. All right. So Ashton Genty, who was running back too. So 4 spots behind is Amari Hampton. This is scouts. This is the national scouting system. All right. Which is crazy because they had Genty as a second rounder. Right. So see how that changes. So cool. All right. So boom. What happens? We get over into the season. We know what Ashton Genty does. But if you look at it, Amari Hampton, even as godly as Genty was, he's not chopped liver. You know what I'm saying? He's not chopped liver. 5.8 yards per attempt, 7 yards per attempt. That's godly, right? Okay, cool. Salute to Genty, dog. I'm saying a running back 1. You got that. But let's not act like Genty is chopped liver. 5.8 yards an attempt, all right? Success rate, 53% to Genty's 55. Chunk percentage, 9.6 to 10.6, all right? You know, yards before contact is similar, so you can't say one had a better offensive line, the other one didn't, all right? Break tackle percentage, 37, 49, you know? So catch percentage. So this is not like this guy is a worthy a pick of 12, and if this guy is a pick at 12, it is the worst draft pick that the Dallas Cowboys could possibly make. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. He is not that far behind. If you want to say that, yeah, I have Ashton Genty as my number 1 running back, absolutely. But if he goes 5 or 6, y'all, you're not getting this at 44. Now, there's some other players, some other running backs, which I understand you can possibly get at 44. But if he's the next best on your board, it just makes sense to get him. And I guarantee you guys, this is not going to happen where Genty goes 6 and the next running back goes 28. It's not happening. So if Genty is a worthy pick at 12, so is Hampton. Now, I see, Lewis, I'm not taking Hampton at 12. Sorry, I agree with Mosher. That is perfectly fine. But here is the flaws in Marcus's whole comments. We pulled the file. He said he wasn't taking Genty at 12 either. Yeah, we pulled the files. It's all Twitter. It's all public. So you're not. So we all know, Marcus, your whole thing is you just don't like running backs. Okay, cool. You're just anti taking running backs in the first round, which I understand. But if you say I'm not taking Genty at 12 and you're also not taking Hampton at 12, your whole perspective is flawed to me. It's not like I don't like you. I'm not like I don't like you or have animosity, but there is no way you can just go off of saying I'm not drafting these caliber of players at 12 just because they are running backs. And that's the whole flawed argument. He is saying based off of their positional value, they are not worthy of the pick at 12. when we saw what Saquon did, when we saw what Zeke did for us, when we saw what Bijan's doing in Atlanta, when we have subscribers right now in Detroit telling you what Gibbs has done for Detroit at 12, he is just placing the stigma on all running backs at the 12th position or first round position. You know? And that's the problem, y'all. You can't just put everything in a nice little box, right? Granted, talk about the Raiders. Don't take tight ends early. Don't take tight ends early. Don't take tight ends early. Okay, cool. That sounds good. I think we will all agree Brock Bowers is worth taking early in the first round. I think we will all agree that the Raiders made the smart decision by taking Brock Bowers early. You know? So don't take linebackers. You guys got to understand. I've been doing this for a minute. What really propelled me to be the Wizard was the Micah Parsons draft. Everybody was saying, don't draft Micah early. Don't draft him that early. Don't draft him early. He's not worth it. He's not worth it. He's a linebacker. He's a linebacker. You don't draft linebackers that early. I think we will all agree, for the most part, in this chat, that taking Micah Parsons even the trade back was a hell of a pick. Was a hell of a pick. But if you want to go into the draft and place these cute little bubbles around it, bro, this is real life. This is real life. This is live action football with the first time head coach. You know, first time head coach. If a player is there, he makes life easier. And just like Earl was saying, right? Zeke wasn't for Dak. He was for Romo, bro. He was to make life easier on Tony Romo, who was an older quarterback coming off an injury. That is why they went with Ezekiel Elliott. Now, remember, they had some guys. They had McFadden, and I think it was Alfred Morris, and I think they still had Lance Dunbar or something like that. So they had running backs on the roster. But there was a guy out there who we all watched at Ohio State, and we all just knew he was insane. Now, me personally, I wasn't a fan of drafting Zeke because you guys know where I wanted to go. But still, be that as it may, I think we all can say those first 3 to 4 years of Zeke was special. Those first 3 to 4 years of Ezekiel Elliott, prime Ezekiel Elliott, was special in Dallas, and it made life easier for everybody. For everybody. Even a rookie quarterback, a 4th round rookie quarterback, and Dak Prescott coming in, luckily he had Ezekiel Elliott to lean on. It made life easier on him. You see what I'm saying? So let's not act like getting a premier running back, if it's Genty, if it's Hampton at 12, is something we should poo-poo at just because of the title of their position. Not in 2025, we can't. Not in 2025, we can't. Will we sit back and watch what San Francisco has done with Christian McCaffrey when he's healthy? Not when we sat back and watch our division foes and the Philadelphia Eagles run Saquon all the way to the Super Bowl. Not when we sit back and watch the Detroit Lions have Sonic and Knuckles. You know, you're sitting back and watching versus Green Bay, we saw Aaron Jones run all over us. Derrick Henry and the Ravens came to Dallas and they ran all over us. But now we want to focus more on the value versus the player. You think the Ravens care that getting a safety in the first round wasn't an optimal value, or do we all agree that Kyle Hamilton is a baller? And we all agree. I think we all agree that Kyle Hamilton is now Tuck. if you look at the value chart, you should never go safety. That what are we talking about? Kyle Hamilton is a baller. The value chart can't save you when you're in the trenches. These value charts can't save you when you're going on the road and having to play against Detroit. These value charts and these different colorful graphics can't save you in the playoffs versus Green Bay. You need players. You need players that will make the opposing team sit up in their chair and say, oh shit. They don't care who got them from. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care. Doesn't care. We don't care. They don't care. It's not going to say, oh, well, I mean, the Cowboys got one of the best young running backs in Amari Hampton in the league right now, but they drafted him in the first round. They paid over value for him. No, they are scheming defensively to figure out how do we stop Amari Hampton and how do we stop that in CeeDee Lamb? Do we stack the box or do we like the box, right? How do we stop this Dallas Cowboys run game, but also make sure CeeDee Lamb doesn't go for 185 and 3 tutties? Nobody cares about the value chart. On May 1st, once the draft is over, burn the value charts. Nobody would care who got the best players. That's all that matters. You see what I'm saying? That is all that matters. And like you said, this is why we lose, because we don't get the best. We get hope. Yeah, yes, we can draft a Marcus Yarns, right, in the 5th round, or a Basil Tutin in the 5th round, and hope he is one of the best running backs in the draft. You know, I agree. There are tons of good running backs who I love in this draft. You know? There's LaQuint Allen. I like LaQuint Allen. I love Devin Neal. You guys know how I feel about Devin Neal. That's my dog. He's right up there. You know what I'm saying? DJ Giddens, Brashard Smith, maybe Ollie Gordon, who had, a slump last year, but was one of the top running backs the year previously, can find his stride. Taj Brooks, Kyle Monaghy, right? Damian Martinez. But with these guys right here, I ain't got to worry about it. I do not have to worry about it. I do not have to worry about anything. 122 yards after contact. You know? That's explosive plays. You see what I'm saying? Look at that. 15 touchdowns. So you don't have to worry about that with Genty. You don't have to worry about that with Hampton. You probably don't have to worry about it with Johnson, Harvey, Sampson, Judkins. But what if we pass, Genty goes early, we pass on Hampton, he goes to Washington, Caleb Johnson gets sniped, Judkins goes before 44, Henderson goes for 44. Now we are, no, it's not, this is not my overall ranking. So I can come in here. So it's a Professor O. So Professor O made this board. So you can come in here and give your overall rankings. I haven't just done it yet, right? So I can come in here. If I want to put RJ or Harvey at 3rd, I could put Sampson at 4th. It's just how they're listed. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But yeah. So this is what I'm saying. What happens? What happens if Genty goes, Hampton goes, Johnson goes, Sampson goes, Judkins goes, Henderson goes? All right, now I like Basil Tutin. I like Devin Neal. I like some of these guys, right? But there's tiers. I feel like there are tiers. So we have to get away from just hoping. Hoping, And I get it. The draft is a crapshoot, but the better player you draft, it increases your odds of success. It just does. This is why teams want to tank and get earlier players, right? It increases your odds of success. So if you draft a Amari Hampton or a Genty at 12, probably it will have a higher chance or probability of success than it would if we got a running back in the 6th round. It just was. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like I get it. This is what's happening. I think what's happening, to be honest with you guys, is the NFL draft community is now being blended with the fantasy football community online. And a lot of people are fantasy football guys and girls talking NFL draft, and everything's all charted up and colorful. You know, I get it, right? I get it. Here in 3 weeks, it'll be fantasy football season. It's going to be magazines and who is going to be the third down back and who's going to be the steal. We can do, or they can do, all of that content. But as of right now, this is for live action reality football. And live action reality football tells me that if you have a player like Amari Hampton staring you at the face at 12, in all off season, we've been hearing tough, strong, dominant, physical, play action, run game, this and that. Like my guy Lou Takes us saying, Amari Hampton matches everything that we are looking for in Dallas. Dylan Sampson or RJ Harvey for me is RJ Harvey. You guys know I'm an RJ Harvey guy. I love RJ Harvey. I have him slightly over Dylan Sampson. I like Dylan Sampson. Honestly, just kind of shooting through this really quickly because I haven't done it fully. I would have Jim T1, Hampton. I'm leaning towards Judkins at 3, Johnson at 4, Henderson at 5, Harvey at 6, Sampson and Neal are, for me, are going to have to battle it out, and then we'll sort it all out. So that's kind of how I'm doing right there. So, but we'll get there. I'm scared we trade back and select a running back in the 3rd. I mean, but here once again, bro, Ty, it's like playing with your food, dog. It's playing with your food. Sometimes you can get too cute. You can get too cute and trick yourself off the streets, yo. You know? And that is where you can get too cute. And then you're scrambling, right? You guys ever, let's talk about fantasy football. You guys ever play fantasy football and all of a sudden you got your queue like lined up, right? All cute. You sitting here, you got your drinks and your beers all out, and you know you're gonna get you're gonna get the sneaker in the 5th round, like, you know what I'm saying, like that nobody is really talking about, and this and that. So you have your queue all set up. You know, last year was like Bucky Irving. I was gonna snipe Bucky Irving because I'm the draft guy. I know about Bucky Irving. I'm gonna snipe Bucky Irving late in the draft. And I had it sitting in my queue. So I'm sitting back, got my music playing, got my queue set up, you know, I'm drinking, I'm chilling, vibing, queue set up. Little ESPN alert. Where's Bucky Irving? Where's Bucky Irving? Where is he? I'm scrambling, I'm searching, I'm changing tabs. Where's Bucky Irving? Someone just sniped Bucky Irving. Now I'm scrambling. Oh, now I'm scrambling. Oh, well, can I go deuce? And that clock is ticking. Should I go deuce Vaughn? No, I can't go deuce. Well, maybe I should get Zeke. No, I shouldn't go Zeke and Rico. Then we split. Oh shit. Should I go? Hold on. Where should I go? And you end up just drafting a tight end. You see what I'm saying? You're not drafting a tight end because you thought this draft was going to go just the way that you thought it was going to go, where it's going to be all just cute and neat, and Bucky Irving was just going to fall to me. It's the same thing in the real draft. You sitting back, oh, we going to get Judkins at 44. We going to get Judkins at 44. And what the hell are the Dolphins trading up for? Oh, wait, the Dolphins just drafted Judkins, but they got 4 running backs. Why they? Now you're scrambling. Oh, well, I mean, we had Judkins, but we're okay. We lost Judkins, but we still got here. Well, Henderson goes at 40. Ooh. All right. Well, now maybe let's get to our guys who we got 5th round grades on. We had some 3rd round grades on some guys. They went a lot earlier than we expected. And now we're going to get some guys in the 5th round who we're extremely high on. Now you're stuck. You know what I'm saying? Now you're stuck scrambling because you want to try to go get cute. Yeah, David, you end up with Nate Pete. You end up with Nate Pete. You know what I'm saying? You end up with Nate Pete because you were just trying to be cute, thinking that these other teams haven't scouted these running backs either. You thought you was the only team that scouted these running backs, and you're the only team in the NFL that saw Saquon damn near breaking historical records and making life easier on Jalen Hurts as they ran their way all the way through the Super Bowl. You think you're the only team that saw that? You know, we're the only team that saw that. We are not the only team that saw that. Running backs will be at a premium this draft because, one, the quarterback market is shallow. It's pretty much 3 deep. You know, it's pretty much 3 deep when it comes to quarterbacks. Cornerback is good, but the cornerback market is a little tricky because there's guys with injuries, right? You're talking about the Benjamin Morrisons, the Will Johnsons. So it could be a situation where, you know, cornerbacks could possibly slide. The wide receiver market is just freestyling. It's just freestyle, whatever you like, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, one day everyone loves Mac, next day everyone hates Mac. Now it's Matthew Golden, but everyone's talking about Matthew Golden. Luther Burden was everyone's consensus #1, but due to his bad quarterback, he done slid down out the 2nd round. And then you got Emeka Ibuka, you got Higgins, you got Jalen, you got Trey Harris. Some people thinking Trey. So when it comes to the wide receivers, it's all over, right? So the one position where teams can draft and probably say sleep easy at night is the running back group. I don't know. Offensive line's kind of cool, but we got tackles, regard, traits, and but these running backs, I'm good. So you know what? I might just go get me 2 of them. You know? I tell you guys, I've told Rome this, DMV, I was literally there at the game where Kansas played versus Colorado. I was sitting behind some Jets NFL scouts. Were they watching Travis Hunter? No. Were they scouting Shedeur Sanders? I thought so, but no. Who was the Jets scouting team there to see and had all on their laptops and taking notes? It was Devin Neal. The Jets, who have Breece Hall, Braylon Allen, you know, Isaiah Davis, right? They were sitting there, the row in front of me, 2 Jet scouts, and they were watching Devin Neal. And I texted DMV in Rome because I screenshot it. And I was like, bro, I'm sick of this. I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing, bro? You know what I'm saying? I wonder, do I still got the photo? I probably still got the photo here in my phone. But I was like, bro, what are we doing? You literally have 3 young running backs on your roster. You're probably going to have a top 5 pick, top 6 pick. You're probably going to need a quarterback. But here you are scouting Devin Neal. It's crazy to me. Hold on, let me see. Hold on. Let me see if I still got it. Hold on. So for the people who think that Tuck be capping and Tuck be lying, look at this. Hold on, let's just zoom in. Hold on. What does that say? You know what I'm saying? What is that saying? Here's a count. You know what I'm saying? I'm being nosy. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm not supposed to do this, but it is what it is, right? What does this say? They're looking at him. The Jets. New York Jets. Right there. And we're sitting back saying, oh, we can get this later. Bro. See what I'm saying? Y'all see what I'm saying? So Tuck don't be making up stuff. Tuck ain't lying. They were literally scouting Devin Neal when they already have 3 young running backs there. You see what I'm saying? So let's not get comfortable. We know what we need. Let's go get the best at what we need and not try to get cute before we walk out with another Nate Pete. I'm not knocking Nate Pete, not knocking Deuce Vaughn. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. But if we are not going to be aggressive in free agency, which we wasn't, I know some people said the Cowboys are moving different. It feels awfully the same to me. Just a little earlier, right? But if we're not going to be aggressive and fill our voids in free agency by spending money, we have to get instant impact guys in the draft. We got to. They got running backs, but struggling at quarterback. Yeah, they are. They should have. I'm telling y'all, like if I'm lying, I'm flying. Right now, my feet on the ground. I thought maybe they were looking at Shador or maybe even Jalen Daniels, who's the quarterback from Kansas. They were looking at Devin Neal. Heavy. And I was just sitting behind him like mad, like, why? Y'all just being greedy. Y'all just hoarding running backs so can't nobody else have any. But then Aaron Glenn comes out and says his emphasis will be on the ground game. So I was like, all right, bro. I mean, hey, they creating competition at the running back room, something we can't do. So who am I to tell you that you're going about things wrong? Cowboys don't play around. Hampton or Luther Bird and wide receiver, bro. I mean, if it's me. So going back to it. Luther Burden was your number 1 going into the season. He was number 1 going into the season. Luther Burden was your number 1 going into the season. All right. So what you would have to do is convince me what part of his skill set fell off for that to happen. Because the only thing you can show me is his production dropped off. But I can show you how Missouri's passing game and their quarterback and Brady Cook fell off a cliff. Well, Tuck, he quit versus Alabama. He had 3 targets and they're losing 34-0. He had 3 targets versus Alabama. 2 of them were screens. And they were down 34-0. Name me a wide receiver that wouldn't pout and be frustrated and quit. You know what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? So you would have to show me trait-wise what has dropped off from Luther Burden for him to fall from being the number 1 overall prospect by the NFL scouts consensus. It's not Jay Tuck saying, don't say Jay Tuck was saying that Luther Burden was the number 1 prospect going into the season. No, it's not me. This is the National Football Scouting Tool. It costs like $7,000 to get this subscription, y'all. It's insane, right? But it's an old screenshot, right? But he was number 1. So what skill-wise fell off for him to no longer be considered? Did he get hurt? Was there an injury? Did he lose a step? Did his drops increase? Did he have any off-the-field issues? What is it? I need someone to tell me what is it, because from a skill set perspective, if I watch the prior year compared to last year, the skill set is there. He just wasn't a focal point in the offense. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Burns' issues, he a jerk with off-the-field concerns. Is probably why they didn't target him. So, a lot of people say that, and I kind of did some research to kind of figure out what is going on. And a lot of people say, like, he's just a typical wide receiver stuff. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's nothing like he had gun charges or, he's like, it's nothing like that, right? It's more just like he wants the ball. You know what I'm saying? He just wants the ball. So, I mean, yeah. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. Now, I saw there was something about, I read something, because when I, to be honest with you guys, right? When I get these things and I hear these things, it just brings up, okay, well, Tuck, let's go check, right? And this is why I say that even though I don't lean on the experts, the one thing I do read is the Beast. But the thing about the Beast from what's his name? Dane Brugler, right? It don't come out until like a week before the draft. Like the Beast comes out, you know what I'm saying? Right before the draft, right? So sometimes the Beast will kind of tell you, okay, what is it? What is really kind of going on? I heard there was something about like his girlfriend or something like that, where people think his girlfriend is bad and his mom is bad. Him and his girlfriend got a YouTube channel. Like, so I'm that deep on Luther Burden. Like, I'm following the Instagram, I'm watching his YouTube, I'm watching all sorts of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't see anything too crazy, too alarming that these kids are doing. Here's what I'll say, right? We will, as an older society, we will criticize these kids for doing things that we did. We just didn't have Instagram. You see what I'm saying? So if I see Luther Burden dripped out in some red Balenciagas and some red whatever at a Mavericks game, then the older generation thinks, oh, he's gang related, right? Because that's why they're banning the whole CD stuff, this slime, right? So these guys don't know, you know what I'm saying, slimed out, young thug, you know what I'm saying, all that stuff. So that's what they're just thinking. He's gang related, gang affiliated. It is just their culture these days, y'all. Like, it's just their culture these days. I even see little white suburban kids throwing up the nose wipe, bro. It's just, you know what I'm saying? I see little kids wiping their nose. It's just music, it's TikTok, it's just, you know what I'm saying? But we'll look at that and say, he's a bad apple or he's affiliated. Now, my generation, we was doing the same thing. It just wasn't on Instagram. I was wearing bulletproof vests to the clubs with a tall tee under it. Why? Because 50 Cent was wearing bulletproof vests everywhere. So Tuck had a bulletproof vest on when he went in the club. It was just the style back then. You know what I'm saying? But we'll do that. We'll sit back and judge these kids for the Instagram. But also we have to consider, not only are these young kids now, these are young kids with money. These are young kids with money. So it's going to look different. It's going to look uncomfortable. But here's the thing. How about you have a coach and a culture that can coach these types of kids? Say, I hope that's all, but nobody wants another Kelvin Joseph. I get it, right? I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. But see, Kelvin Joseph, his issues were different at LSU versus Kentucky. Like, there were like issues with coaches. I think it was like he threw shoes or something like. So there was those types of things. I just haven't found those things when it comes to Luther Burden. Now, maybe they're out there. I don't know. But as of right now, I just haven't seen it. He's like Stephon Diggs a little bit. He does give you a Stephon Diggs type of vibe. You know what I'm saying? He does give you that type of vibe. Chris, they said the same thing about Randy Moss. You know what? I left that one. It's wide receivers. Malik Neighbors. You know what I'm saying? Malik Neighbors, he was a turned up wide receiver. You know? Now, did Luther Burden have some temper things that maybe led to penalties, right? So what happens is, I think, to be honest with you guys, is that you'll see what goes on in the NFL and people will drape that on the next player, right? So, like, I feel like when it comes to T-Mac, right, when it comes to Ted, a lot of people are saying, oh, well, look at what happened with Quentin Johnston. He kind of had that same frame, so Tet will struggle, right? Or people will say, George Pickens had these types of issues, and so that could be what Luther Burden is, right? So they're kind of applying what other players do on these players, but they're their individual selves. You see what I'm saying? They're their individual selves. They go into different situations, and you can't just lump them all. You can't just lump them all until you have enough data. Now, if you have some situations where, there was some situations that Missouri might have to sweep under the rug and this and that and this and that. Okay, cool. But let's take it a buck, bro. Y'all remember how many headaches Ezekiel Elliott was when he was young? Y'all remember all the shit that Zeke was getting into? A lot. From the situation with the chick and, the St. Patty's Day. And there was the story about he knocked out a guy at the club and, all sorts of stuff when it came to Zeke. But I guarantee you wouldn't trade those first 3 to 4 years in the world for it. We was out there defending Zeke. We was on the front line with picket signs. I remember. I was one of them. When he pulled those girls top down on St. Patty's Day, I was like, bro, it's St. Patty's Day. You know what I'm saying? Bro, it just comes with the territory in some cases. All prospects, all players don't get fit in this cute little box. You know what I'm saying? Now, here's also what I'm going to say, y'all. Here's what I'm going to say. I get it. There might be some concerns about Luther Burden and his temper or whatever. All right, cool. But we are the Dallas Cowboys. We are the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys. We take players with real off the field issues, like the real ones. Y'all remember Lyell's situation, right? Kelvin Joseph's situation. We didn't cut him. We had him right back on the team the very next day. You know how many red flags that Sam Williams had from all the way back from high school? Do y'all remember why Kevontae Turpin had to go play in the USFL? Do y'all remember Peyton Hendershot's issue? So why? So it's like we'll take all of that, right? We'll take all of that, mix it all up in a bag, and be perfectly fine with it. But if a player has some attitude because he wants the ball more, no, absolutely not. We can't have that in house. For a team that brought in Greg Hardy, now you want to have some moral standards? Now is when you want to pump the brakes. Yeah, Stacy. Yeah, we went and got Greg Hardy. How many times did Randy Gregory get suspended and we kept him on the roster? What was the defensive lineman, Josh Brown with the D? Bro, we had so many issues in Dallas of players with real off the field issues. A player wanting the ball more is the least of my concerns. It's the least of my concerns that a wide receiver wants the ball more. Woo, scary. Stay away from that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? Hey, same thing with Isaiah Bond. He should have been a top prospect in the draft, honestly, but the rumor is he had to transfer because of issues that he couldn't get along with people at Texas. Yeah, so it has to be something. So those things get out, you will hear it. But it's like with Burden, it's kind of just they're walking on eggshells and no one has said what it really is. You see what I'm saying? So Bird and City both be crying for the ball. You want them fighting each other? Absolutely not. You want wide receiver one mentality. And I think I was talking to Boss Cowboy about this, right? I think I was talking to Boss about this, right? The reason why I was saying Luther Burden, because he has wide receiver one DNA. He has wide receiver one DNA. You see what I'm saying? And what do I mean by that? In a situation where it could be, let's say CeeDee Lamb is out for a few games. Do I think Luther Burden could step up with 14 targets a game and him and Dak could go crazy? Absolutely. And it's the same thing where I felt like happened with Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson. Jordan Addison, though he is wide receiver 2 in Minnesota, he has a wide receiver 1 ability. Go back to when he played at USC and also at Pitt, right? He has wide receiver 1 ability. So when Justin Jefferson went down, Jordan Jefferson stepped the hell up. Cool. This is easy to me. This is easy to me. Put their number 1 corner. Like, so Justin Jefferson went down, Jordan Addison stepped up. I would like to have 2 wide receivers with that ability, whether that's Golden, right? I think Golden has it. I think Tet has it, but I want those types of guys. Those types of guys opposite of CeeDee Lamb. I don't want a guy who's just comfortable with 3 to 4 targets a game and he kind of does his job. If that's the case, you might as well keep what we have. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like that, I mean, that's where, I mean, if that's the case, we might as well keep what we have. You know, you're cool with giving Jalen Tolbert 3 to 4 targets a game and just letting him, you know, do what he does when his number gets called. No, I want threats opposite CeeDee Lamb. I want threats on the offense. I'll let you guys go ahead and tell me. Go ahead, it's your turn. Tell me, opposite of CeeDee Lamb, who are some threats when it comes to our offense? Go ahead. Who are some threats? Who are some threats on our offense? Jordan Addison's great and he'd be fine as a number 1. Exactly. You know? When Justin Jefferson went down, Jordan Addison was like, okay, cool. I won't say about time, but he was good. He was good. You know what I'm saying? He was good. Who said Luther Burden is falling to the 3rd? I didn't say that. I didn't say Burden. Oh, Burden's not falling to the 3rd. He's not falling to the 3rd. Now we need dogs, and I feel like got the more dog in him. He do. He just does. I want attitude. And right now, y'all, with losing Zach Martin, you know, even though losing Tyron Smith, I feel like our offense needs attitude. They need that dog mentality. I know we got him on defense. I know Micah's scrappy, right? And kind of lost in D-Law, right? But we got some scrappy attitude type guys, right, on defense. Offense, we need it. We need it. It's an electric charge, not only to your team, your fan base, and your organization when you have that offensive player on your roster and you know no matter what defensives do, they can't stop them. It's an electric charge. Even though we don't like them, for Eagles fans and their organization, when it's 4th down and they get in that tush push formation, it's just like, what you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it? You're not gonna stop it. That's an electric charge, right? When we had prime Zeke and it's 4th down, 4th and 2, shit, go for it, right? 4th and goal, shit, go for it. You can't stop him. They cannot stop 21. Give it to him. It's an electric charge. It's a boost of confidence. It changes everything. It changes your play calling. It changes your defensive mindset. It changes your offensive mindset when you have those guys that you know, no matter what, they just can't be stopped. And if I got to get out of San Francisco, I can do it. Y'all remember the last game where we really beat the 49ers? What did we do? I remember I was at that game in Dallas. Zeke and Pollard ran all over them boys. Zeke and Pollard ran all over the 49ers. You see what I'm saying? He ran all over them. He ran all over them. That is a mindset. It is a mindset. It's a ripple effect for your offensive lineman. It's 4th and 1. Stay on the field. Go for it. And we're going to turn around and hand the ball to this running back, and he is going to get the first down. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I would go for it. Okay. Amari Hampton and Luther Burden III sounds good to me. It sounds like a dream, but that's not happening. That's not happening at all. At all. Tet will demand the ball. I don't think Tet will demand the ball if he's opposite of CeeDee Lamb. You know what I'm saying? He went opposite of CeeDee Lamb. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Stacey on the green. No, Stacey Green on the team right now. Nobody besides CeeDee Lamb. I mean, CeeDee Lamb is the only one who puts fear into any defense. We have one player offensively that put fear in the defense. Teams get geared up for Sunday. What do they say? We got to stop CeeDee Lamb. Who else? I don't know. We got to stop CeeDee Lamb. Stop CeeDee Lamb. I don't know. Like I said, simplify it. Go play with the Cowboys on Monday or on Madden. Go play the Cowboys on Madden. It's damn near mission impossible. You really have to coach on Madden to win with the Cowboys, because outside of CeeDee Lamb, there is no one that can break the game open. I tried everybody. I tried Brandon Cooks, didn't work. I tried putting Kevontae Turpin. They ain't even got his speed. Rico couldn't break out in open field. Zeke was getting tackled down. Deuce goes down first sign of contact. Jake Ferguson and Schoon can't separate from nobody. Tyler Guyton can't protect on the left side. Like, can't play this offense on Madden. You know what I'm saying? We should draft Savion Williams. I mean, I can see it. It's, can we use Savion Williams in the proper manner? That's the one I kind of question I would ask. Easy J Tuck, Jalen Tolbert is a threat for like one play a game. Two. Like Jalen Tolbert will give you two of them things. You see what I'm saying? And then it's just, all right, appreciate you, dog. But he was a 3rd round pick coming from South Alabama. You know, a lot of people, I personally didn't have Jalen Tolbert going for 1,300 yards and 10 touchdowns or anything like that. You know, but I think he's a good rotational wide receiver, which I still think he is. He's a good wide receiver 3, 4, however you want to flex it, right? But as far as like a serious threat, when you look at the Dallas Cowboys wide receiver duo, you have Chase Higgins, like I always say, Waddle Hill, Brown, Smitty. You know, even now you got Scary Terry and, you know, and Debo. You used to have Debo and Ayuk. You know, you got J-Mo and St. Brown. Like the list goes on and on when you look across the league of these wide receiver duos. And when you get to Dallas, it's CeeDee Lamb and Dim. We got to change that. We got to change that. It has to change. And we have in 3 weeks, that must change, y'all. Or I'm sorry to let y'all know, the results will be the same. What's up, JV? If we don't go get real impact guys on offense, y'all, I just don't see it. I just don't see it. Yeah, I just don't see it. If we come out this draft, let's say we go offensive line, 1st round, defensive tackle, cornerback in the 3rd, running back in the 5th, wide receiver in the 5th. Nope. Nah, can't sign off on that. Right, J Tuck. Only personal offense that showed that was Hoffman, right? Brock Hoffman. Now, I would say Cooper Beebe has some toughness, but he's an offensive lineman. You're not scheming for Cooper Beebe or scheming for Brock Hoffman. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not scheming for these guys. You know? You need some perimeter weapons. Now, I will say this. If I had to bet money, y'all, I would say our pick at 12 will be offensive. Now, what position? I don't know. Don't say. But if I had to bet money as of today, on April 6th and say, we are going on this side of the ball, it has to be offense. It has to be offense, y'all. It has to be an offensive pick. It has to be. It has to be, y'all. It has to be. And Brian Schottenheimer even talked about it. He's like, man, the way our free agency is going, it make you believe I'm a defensive minded coach. Yeah, bro. Our offense needs some help. Our offense needs some help, and we need it at the skill positions. I'm sure Paris Campbell's a good guy. Like Jonathan Mingo coming out of Ole Miss. Cool story. I like Jalen Tolbert, Jalen Brooks. They're all cool guys. But, y'all, I'm in win. And here's what I'll say. I'm in win now mode, which probably, to be realistic, it ain't happening. But still, I want to at least be competitive, y'all. And we're looking at a division that has Philadelphia returning off a Super Bowl, talent out the wazoo. You have Jalen Daniels going crazy, and all those Commanders fans, they're Marion Hampton, Luther Burden up. So it's my dog Rio. Every mock I see with them is Luther Burden or Marion Hampton, Luther Burden or Marion Hampton, Luther Burden or Marion Hampton. Now imagine if Marion Hampton is another running back we have to deal with in the NFC East. Nah. I mean, the draft experts think Tet is a high-end number 2, like Higgins, who gets about 900 a year. You prefer Richard Jefferson, but you just also take T. Higgins in the second. I mean, I think Tet has some upside, but no matter who you bring in, they're always going to be number 2 to CeeDee Lamb. Ain't nobody CeeDee Lamb. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody CeeDee Lamb, y'all. All right, y'all, appreciate all the chats. We got them ringing off the hook right now. Actually, let me do this. Let's see if I got this new toy. Let's see if this works. All right. Eagles listed half their defense, not worried about Philly or New York. We shall see. Tyler got the best. Yeah. Okay. Boom. All right. New software. I can just have this on auto. You know what I'm saying? I can have this on auto. You know what I'm saying? I press the button no more. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get into this mock draft, y'all. Get ahead and get into this mock draft. Let's do some trades. If y'all want to do some trades, we can trade up, you know what I'm saying? And keep it cooking a little bit. And then I'm just going to have some fun on Sunday for our dip on out, man. And yeah, enjoy my Sunday. Hopefully y'all having a good one. Like I said, I really wanted to test out this new software. I like it so far. It's smooth. And you're probably like, yo, Tuck, you're not on Twitter. I'm not streaming on Twitter no more. I'm just streaming on YouTube, man. I'm streaming on YouTube with my people, man. Because that's what I was saying, like going back to what I originally talked about, all right? It was just one of those things where I can't talk to my community in peace anymore on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? I can't talk to my community in peace anymore on Twitter. So let's say, for instance, Stacy is like, hey, Tuck, would you draft Golden or Mac at 12? And I say, hey, Stacy, I would probably lean towards Mac at 12. I am now going to have thousands of people. I don't like Mac. He can't separate. He can't get. I don't want him. We shouldn't go wide receiver early. We can't. I don't want to. I don't like her. When it's just like, damn, I was really just talking to Stacy, bro. I wasn't one talking to all of y'all. I was just answering Stacy's question. I didn't want to talk to all of y'all. So it's like, I can't talk to my community in peace anymore. So where can I talk to my community in peace? Right here on the YouTube channel. And that's exactly what we're about to do. So let's go ahead and lock it in. Do you guys want to trade back before? I'm going to let you guys run this, right? This is going to be y'all draft. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to see if y'all been paying attention. I'm going to see if y'all can really cook. All right. Do y'all want to trade before the draft? Or y'all want to see what's available and then trade back? Go ahead and let me know. So it'll be all over in 20 days. Yeah. So what happens next, bro? Next, what happens is the sell the Kool-Aid packets on the draft picks that we got, right? So let's say we went and got, I don't know, Tyler Booker, right? You better drop a video and say Tyler Booker is the next Zach Martin, or that's your ass, Mr. Postman. That's your ass, Mr. Postman. So whoever the Cowboys draft on the first round at 12, you better come out and make a video saying that we got to steal the draft, or that is your ass. Speak now for your piece. See what's available. All right, see what's available. See what's available. See what's available. Yeah. So as content, it goes in cycles. It goes in cycles, right? When the off season comes around, you know, eventually when the season ends, everyone's kind of upset, right? So nobody wants to hear anything that you have to say. They can care less. So it's all like negativity cycle, right? Then as you kind of get post Super Bowl, it kind of gets in the Kool-Aid positivity cycle where just sell you on everything. Free agency's moving different. Front office is moving different. Jack Sanborn's is still Kenneth Murray Jr.'s is still. And then Solomon Thomas is better than DeMarcus Lawrence. And they start selling that shit at you, right? Just tossing that. Just take it. Just take it. All the positive you can get, here, take it, right? Then, when it comes to the draft, whoever we get, steal the draft. We got it. We back. Oh, this was a steal. Cowboys draft better than the Eagles. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just always those cycles, all right? And then once you get into the season, you get to the preseason, you get to camp, right? You know what I'm saying? Camp, preseason, right? Little clips of camp, right? You know what I'm saying? Boom, boom, boom. You know, oh, well, Jalen Tolbert's turning up at camp and right? And then you get into the season, and then you do the weekly scouting report, and you better say the Cowboys are going to win that game, or that is your ass. Do a whole preview, Cowboys versus Giants. It doesn't even matter what the scouting report says. You better make a prediction that the Cowboys are going to win, or that is your ass. You see what I'm saying? So it's just a cycle, man. So for all you up-and-coming content creators, if you want to stay afloat, just go with the cycle. So whenever the Cowboys have this draft here in a few weeks, just say we smoked it and grade that shit an A, and you'll be perfectly fine, because that's what people do, and they just ride the wave. You know, y'all remember when people were comparing Sam Williams to Aiden Hutchinson and saying the Dallas Cowboys technically got Aiden Hutchinson and Sam Williams? Just ride that goddamn wave and surf. You know what I'm saying? They be surfing, bro. You know what I'm saying? The whole Jalen Carter versus Mozzie Smith thing. People got mad at me because I was like, because people don't understand the Jalen Carter versus Mozzie Smith thing happened before they were even drafted to Philly and Dallas, right? And even then, I was like, hell no, because I remember, I think Okoye was for Mozzie. I think Boss, like, there was a lot of Cowboys people who were for Mozzie over Jalen Carter, and I was like, absolutely not. Like, no. Like, I don't. Listen, love y'all all. Y'all my dogs, y'all my bros, but there's no way I'm ever going to fix my lips to say Mozzie Smith was better than Jalen Carter, right? Then it happens. The Eagles get Carter, we get Mozzie, and a bunch of Cowboys people just jumped out the window. Mozzie better than Jalen Carter. And me, I was just like, don't put me in that. Don't, whoa. Now, hey, I swear, but that corner, whoa. Don't put me in that, dog. Don't put me in that at all. Don't put me in that convo at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm over here by myself. You know what I'm saying? So it's just the cycles of the season, man. So, I say, how could anyone hype up the Schoonmaker pick? I think Schoon was a consensus bitter beer face for all of us. The only thing I did with the Schoon pick was I went and I did a film session of the Cowboys philosophy. I think it was a Brian Schottenheimer video, actually. Yeah, so I think my Brian Schottenheimer video that I did that's still on the channel was about his philosophy in marrying the two tight end sets of what he used to like to do, and also with Hunter Luepke in the fullback. So that's all I did with Schoonmaker. But overall, I was just like, bitter beer face, you know? He said, Tuck, you know how I feel about Michigan linemen. Yeah, I mean, you know. Yeah. Was Sky? Let's see. Hold on a sec. I was calling Mozzie Marshmallow Ramos last year. He started showing up. I mean, he's decent, but he's not Jalen Carter. He never was going to be ever that. Yeah, Skywalker was in love with Mozzie, but Jalen Carter was the best prospect in the whole draft. Yeah, I would have had. I had Jalen Carter. He was going to be my number one prospect. The only reason I didn't have Jalen Carter as my number one prospect in the draft is because of the off the field stuff. So I think, what draft was he? Was he the quarterback from Houston and Bryce Young? CJ Stroud, right? I think I had CJ Stroud, right? So I had CJ Stroud as my number one. My dog B Bird, man, appreciate you for the super chat. People were already hyping up our mid free agency, bro. Like I said, B Bird, just go with the cycle, man. People are just surfing, bro. I get it. I know, Tuck. This is why you're only stuck at 18,000 subscribers, because your ass don't know how to surf with the tide. You're always going against the current. You know what I'm saying? I'm always going against the current, and that's why, you know what I'm saying, people are like, I don't like Tuck's content, right? He just always negative, and I'm just saying, bro, Peyton Turner just don't get me excited. Peyton Turner doesn't have me making a reservation for San Francisco for the Super Bowl, even though I'm already booked for the Super Bowl, but it's not because of Peyton Turner. You see what I'm saying? But hey, B-Bird, appreciate the super chat, bro. You've been around long enough. You just know how it is, what it is, bro. And I'm just here so I don't get fined. I'm just here, I don't get fined. All right, so we said we're going to see what's available, and then we are going to submit the trades. All right, so let's slow it down just a tad bit. Let's slow it down just a tad bit. So I want to see how this board is going. Let's put spice up the randomness just a little bit. All right, spice up the randomness just a little bit. It says, nah, Tuck, you be real. I know. They don't like it when I'm real. You know what I'm saying? That's why they hate me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, hey, bro, like, but here's the thing. I'm not going against the current just because I just want to be opposite of everybody. If the current is moving, then I'm gonna move with it. If I have the research and it looks like it's gonna help the Cowboys win. So like when Landlord was saying spam Lamb, I wasn't go against him. Like, hell no, we shouldn't spam Lamb. No, if it makes sense, it makes sense, you know. But you know, all right. So all right, let's get this draft popping. Let's see how things go. Cam Ward, All right, so let's see what happened too. Oh, this is easy. This is easy money. It's easy money. Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter, Barron, Armand Mimble, Mason Graham, Tech to the Jets, Malachi Starks. So this looks like a draft, y'all, where no one cares about the value chart. Nobody cares about the value chart right here. You got safeties going early, linebackers going early with injuries. Will Campbell, Cale Williams. Well, I mean, I know Cowboys Nation, the value chart might not say make the pick here, but I'm going to let you guys go and make the pick. What up, my dog DMV in the building, man? What's up, bro? It's running through this mock real quick. I mean, DMV. So Cowboys Nation, I don't know. Do you go and grab arguably one of the best weapons in the draft? Or do you pass on him because he's a running back, and based on this chart that you shouldn't draft running backs this early because you can get one later? I'm gonna be quiet because people won't think I'm being mean. So I see Angry Genty, JV Genty, Reaper Genty, Baby Boy Genty, Iman saying, I know if Genty is there, draft gods love us, he'll be there. I'm going Genty. I'm going Genty. Sin City, get the running back. Charles says move back. I'm not moving back off of Genty. If Genty is sitting here at 12, y'all, you get him, and thank God we dodged some bullets, and you grab this running back and get the hell up out of here. And if the Cowboys draft Genty and he turns out to be a bust, y'all, I will eat a value chart live on my stream. I will print out a draft value chart and I will put some hot sauce on it and I will eat it live on my stream. But you grab Genty, you think zero hesitations. Now, I'm telling you this right now. He ain't going to be there, dog. He's not going to be there, man. I didn't give up on Genty. If you watch the channel, you watch the film sessions, I ain't even do a Genty film session because he's gone, dog. It was fun while it lasted, but he is gone. All right, so, oh shit, they got Shador. Do y'all think we should fix these settings? Maybe crank the randomness up a little too much. But you got Shador Sanders falling all the way to the second round to 44. That would be crazy. Demetrius Knight. I know a lot of people got mad about when I talk about Demetrius Knight. I think Demetrius Knight could be in play for the Cowboys, even though he's an older prospect. You got Trey Amos sitting right there. Landon Jackson, I think he was a 30 visit. Maxwell Harrison, Princely. Let's look at wide receivers. They say I like Jaden Higgins, but he's an X size. So he says, we draft Genty. I'm going 300% toxic masculinity. Yeah. Oh, yeah. If he get Genty at 12, oh, I'm talking. I can't. That's what I'm saying, man. Because, like, the thing I hate the most about the Cowboys, the way they moving, is that y'all guys know I'm on the NFC East Roundtable. Salute to my NFC East Roundtable fans. You know what I'm saying? And my fam out there. The Cowboys ain't giving me nothing to fight back with, bro. They ain't giving me nothing to fight back with, bro. I have no leg to stand on when it comes to the NFC East Roundtable show. I'm just getting punched on left and right. But let me get strapped up and come to that draft show, post-draft show on the NFC East Roundtable on Roundtable Sports with Ashton Genty. Oh, my bass coming back in my voice, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to put some bass back in my voice. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to talk to some of y'all like what's really good. You know what I'm saying? But I can't go on the NFC East Roundtable show with the Tyler Booker. You know what I'm saying? And if the Giants get Shador and the Commanders get Hampton and the Eagles mess around and get Luther Burton, I can't go to war with the Tyler Booker. Give me something to strap up with. All right, so looking at the wide receivers here, you got Jaden Higgins, Xavier. I need some ammo. I need some ammo, dog. You know what I'm saying? Trey Harris, Jalen Noel, Jalen Royals, Savion Williams, Ted Johnson, Isaiah Bond, Torrey Houghton. So if you're going wide receiver, is it going to be Higgins? Is it going to be Higgins? I couldn't see that. I'm talking hella heavy. We get Genty, bro. I'm talking hella heavy. You know what I'm saying? The F y'all Super Bowl. What y'all doing this year? You know what I'm saying? Give a damn y'all won a Super Bowl last year. That's last year. Talk about now. You know what I'm saying? I don't be on that type of time. Not, hey, you know, I think Tyler Booker is, you know, he had some good upside. You know, we did need a guard to kind of fill in for the absence of Zach Martin and hopefully our young offensive line. I don't want that no more on the NFC East Roundtable show. I want to be able to talk my shit again. You know what I'm saying? I see Higgins. Go wide receivers. I think the pick is Higgins. I like Jalen Royals too, but I think Higgins. Now, the thing with Higgins, are they going to do that over Mingo? I don't know, but I like Jaden Higgins. Tight end, you say? Elijah Arroyo, Mason Taylor. I would like to get Mason Taylor in Dallas because his auntie gonna be at the game. You know what I'm saying? You get Mason Taylor in Dallas, that means his auntie gonna be at the games. So y'all might see Jay Tuck at the Cowboys games, no jersey on, suited and booted. You know what I'm saying? Hey, damn, why Tuck all dressed up, all fresh at the Cowboys game? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm out here looking for auntie. Auntie Taylor. You know what I'm saying? So let's go with Jaden Higgins. I would go with Jaden Higgins here. Let's see here. Yeah, I like Mason Taylor too. Besides, I like Mason Taylor player too, but I like his auntie too. Trey Amos, corner. So do y'all think that we can go get Trey Amos and hold off on Higgins? I think we should run it. Let's go with Amos. Let's get a corner. I think we'll get a wide receiver here shortly. especially where this draft is going. Where this draft is going, it should give us something here. All right, so wide receiver, you got Trey Harris there. Hey, bro. Hey, don't worry about me, Lewis. We all got to stay hydrated. To try to catch a fade with the wife. Hey, she already know, man. She already knows. You know what I'm saying? I've already told her, hey, if I run across Joy Taylor, that pic is going on the gram, and I'm going to smile. It's just one of those things. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? This is, I used to love Joy Taylor, but now, not now. No way in hell. Hey, man, actually, I think my affinity has grown even more because now I feel like I could actually probably do it. I actually feel like I could probably do it. You know what I'm saying? It used to be Mission Impossible, but I believe, you know what I'm saying? And I believe, no, let me shut up. Let me shut up before I be in trouble for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, Tuck ain't been live in a minute. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's Trey Harris for here this pick. It's Trey Harris at this pick, so I would probably go Trey Harris. Yeah, let me chill. I mean, man, Tuck did a fire live stream on Sunday, but I ain't heard from bro in like a minute. You know what I'm saying? It's like, nah, bro, let me chill. You know what I'm saying? All right. But I do like Mason Taylor. You know what I'm saying? I do like Mason Taylor. All right. Ooh, these picks getting all the way to the 5th round. All right. So, bang. Here we go. Yeah, here we go. All right. So, we went running back, cornerback, wide receiver. I feel like now in the 5th round, we should consider trenches. Willie Lampkin blocked well for Amari Hampton. Some people talk about his strength, but I think he'd be perfectly fine. Let's see. We got defensive interior. Tonka, Tim, Junior, Zeke, Big Cam Jackson could probably wait. Edge rushers. Jaw Joyner. RJ Oben. So, yeah, I think a defensive tackle. So do you guys want to hold off on DT, or do you think we can get him? Or y'all want to just grab him now? Let's look at interior offensive lineman. So you do have Willie Lampkin there. Let's see. Smith. So he said Smith. Who was Smith? Tim Smith out of Bama. I think you can wait for him. I think you can wait for Tim Smith. So if it's interior, oh, I forgot. We don't have that pick no more. They updated. I still think we can get Tim Smith. I think that we can go get an interior offensive lineman and Willie Lampkin. And I think we can wait. I think that we can really wait. Yeah, but I forgot they got the pick for what's his name for our QB. Yeah. Safeties. Billy Bowman Jr., Upton Stout, who I like. RJ Oben, he's good, but he's not a producer like that, right? So I really want a producer if I'm going to go edge. I'm going to go with Willie Lampkin. Let's go get Big Willie style right now. And I feel like we can get to Tim on the next round. Timmy. Did we lose him? Yeah, we can get Tim Smith right here. All right, bang. So Tim Smith. Kendra, yeah, did Kendra already go? He might still be available, but I think right now it's when we go with Tim Smith out of Alabama. All right, now we cooking. 5'10" off interior offensive lineman. They don't like his size, but he's a ball player though, man. He's a ball player. So you do have another running back in Ollie Gordon, but I wouldn't go get him yet. Cody Simon, linebacker. We haven't addressed the linebacker room yet. You have Jake Majors, Caden Prather. He was he a 30 visit or he had his informal? Elijah Clark, Ricky Wright, Luke Lashley, Cam Horsley, Ethan Chisholm. Me and DMV been talking about him. He fits the Cowboys. Aronde Gatson. I would probably go with Cody Simon here as well, just to get you a linebacker on the board. We got a second wide receiver or a second running back. I feel like you can get that second running back at 211 or a second wide receiver at 211. So we'll wait. Let's go get a linebacker in Cody Simon here. He might be able to say that Lemke can ball, but our scouting department wouldn't do it. Yeah, he can ball, man. Because if you watch Amari Hampton, Big Willie style, he's out there getting busy, but you know, it just is what it is. Let's see here. And see, like, this is what happens for draft season when it comes from doing what we would do versus the Cowboys would do. Gets a little, you know what I'm saying? We're starting to get into reality. I love Gatson from Syracuse. I'll probably wait on him for a minute, though. You'll probably get him. Got Jake Majors, Ollie Gordon. I would probably circle y'all Ollie Gordon for the Dallas Cowboys in some capacity. Like, I just feel it. I just feel Ollie Gordon. And man, if you had an Ashton Genty and Ollie Gordon, I mean, shit, y'all. I mean, you get Ollie Gordon and Ashton Genty. Dak might have to throw like 5 times a game. You know what I'm saying? Or you got LaQuinn Allen as well. Y'all want to go Ollie Gordon? I would not hesitate. Sitting right there in the 5th. Yeah, Ollie Gordon would have probably been the number 1 running back last year, bro. He was the Ashton Genty last year. You know what I'm saying? He was the Ashton Genty last year in last year's class, right? I know he had the DUI or whatnot, you know. But let's just do it. This is what we're gonna do. I'll do go Ollie Gordon here. And then you do have Jake Majors still. You have Cam Horsley. So you could double dip in the interior. I feel like you can get a Rondé Gatson at the next pick. Let's see here. Genty and Neal would be crazy, but Devin's gone. All gas, no brakes. Load the clip. And that way you don't have to run Genty into the ground. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to run Genty into the ground, you know? And then when it's time to pay Genty, he takes his ass to Cabo. We'll have Ollie Gordon sitting right there. So, you know what I'm saying? And then we can come up with a cute little nickname for our running back duo. You know what I'm saying? We'll have a cute little nickname for our running back duo. You know, we can't do Sonic and Tails, but maybe we can do, you know, Thunder and Lightning or something like that. You know, cute little whatever. For our duo. Let's have duos, wide receiver duos. So I would probably consider Cam Horsley here or Jake Majors, Batman and Robin. You know, yeah, we can definitely have some fun with it. You know, Fidel Diggs, Samuel Brown, Jaquidin Jackson. He was a 30 visit. Will Shepard, Ty Robinson. So I think we should go with Cam Horsley here, even though I would love to have Jake Majors. But I'm going to go with Cam Horsley because we're in round 7. This is 7th round. So we can go with Cam, right? More defensive interior. And then we can turn and get a Rondé Gatson right now in the 7. Bang. All right, now we cooking, y'all. And then last pick of the draft, I'm going to let y'all call it. A lot of people say Kyron Lacey, Johnny Walker, Raheem Sanders, our dog Elijah Austin, who was on the show, suits Elijah Austin, Nicholas Martin. Nicholas Martin kind of gives me a overshown type, wiry. No. Zeke and Pollard didn't get to have a nickname because so many people were so focused on dividing the two versus enjoying what we had, appreciate what we had. So, you know, and that's another thing, right? Even if we did draft Genty and Gordon, we didn't have to draft Genty at 12. We could have just ran Ollie Gordon because if you look at Ollie Gordon, his yard per carry is a lot higher than it'll be that stupid stuff, right? So we didn't get to celebrate having Zeke and Pollard because people were so focused on dividing the two versus having a running back tandem. Crazy. Is there a defensive tackle? Reaper Ridge took one. We took 2 defensive tackles. Phil Maffa, he is gone. Maffa is gone. So you're looking at Jabbar Muhammad, possibly a cornerback. Rock Taylor, wide receiver. I like Nicholas Martin. Like I said, y'all, he has an overshown type spirit. He has like very high motor. He's 6 foot. He's short as hell though. So he has like he's more like a special teams guy. Mac McWilliams out of UCF. Love Zachary Franklin. Zachary Franklin out of Illinois. Elijah Austin. You know, he can kind of give you that edge rusher ability if you guys haven't watched the interview with him. Because he played for... Is that Marshall? No, where is Mike Green from? Is that Marshall? Yeah, Marshall. Played for Marshall, transferred to Miami. 3 sacks, 5 sacks, right? A very solid player in Elijah Austin. Kind of has that Micah type of build, so you can probably get something out of him, especially in the special teams. Ty Robinson, Jaquindon Jackson, he was a 30 visit. We already doubled down on running back. Yeah, Marshall. He played for Marshall. We already doubled down on running back, Slim. We got Genty and Gordon, so I think we're good there. No more running backs. JJ Pegas is gone. I think JJ is gone. Yeah, JJ is gone. Nicholas Martin. Yeah, let's see. Everybody's pretty much gone. Thor Griffin. Colin Oliver is interesting. And I like Colin Oliver. I think I like Colin Oliver as an edge, to be honest with you guys. I really like him a lot, to be honest with you, at Oklahoma State. Why is he so low? Measurables. Measurables. BJ Adams. All right, look at safety. Look at safety. All right, someone said safety. Got Malachi Moore. Dan Jackson, Shiloh, Arby Burks. I wouldn't be opposed with Malachi Moore. Reaper said, this is where I'm like, who? This is where the fun starts, though. You know what I'm saying? But I tell people, if you can get these far on mock drafts, y'all, and still know like 8 players, you're all right. You know what I'm saying? If you still know about 8 players on this, you're all right. So I kind of say, like, this is as like draft, flip cards, right? Let's go with Malachi Moore, safety. San Francisco drafted Kyron Lacey. All right, let's see what we got. Bada bing, bada boom. All right. So, ooh-wee. So, Ashton Genty in the first. Trey Amos. Bang. Corner. So, starter. Possibly a starter. Rotational. Cody Simon. Rotational. He can work his way in. Now listen, y'all. I know the value chart would probably say don't do this, but I think it looks pretty damn good to me. CFO gang, when it comes to this draft of Ashton Genty, Trey Amos, Trey Harris. Actually, let me do this. Hold on. Let me do this. Hold on. I'm gonna do something for y'all. Let's do this. Bang. Hold up, let me get this right. Loving this software. All right, bang there. Hold on, let me stretch this out. Pause if you want to. All right, bang. So here we are. All right, so Genty, Amos, Harris, Lampkin, Tim Smith, Cody Simon, Ollie Gordon, Cam Horsley, Aronic Gatson, Malachi Moore. A-. I am not opposed at this draft, y'all. I am not upset at this draft by any means. I think this is good to go. Here to go. Right? We got 1, 2, 3 starters, 1 in rotation, 3 in rotation. Ollie Gordon. So if you go out there with the Javonte Williams, Ashton Genty, Ollie Gordon, running back room is good. Trey Amos, cornerback room can definitely help, right? Trey Harris definitely helps on the boundary wide receiver with big upside potential, possibly could be the best running back or wide receiver in this class. Willie Lampkin could be a guy that can work himself in as a starter. Tim Smith, rotation. Cody Simon, he can probably work his way in a rotation. Ollie Gordon by sitting back in the clip, but we can use him. Cam Horsley, rotation. Arondé Gadsden, like I said, probably a free agent, but he can work himself up in there. And then also Malachi Moore can possibly sneak his way in there. So overall, good draft, CFO game. But listen, y'all, I appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with me on this Sunday evening. I think I'm about to go into a Twitter space with my dog, Dez Bryant, here on Twitter. Kind of vibe out, talk about some sports betting stuff here in a minute. So if y'all on Twitter and follow me, then I'll go live there. But yeah, man, appreciate y'all, man, for tuning in as usual. We got some big stuff lined up with this channel. And that is why I'm trying to get this software up and make things a little bit easier, because I want to go live a whole lot more, because I feel like that's what I've been missing out on this channel, is not being able to go live. I want to be able to go live a lot more and a lot more efficiency. And as we gear up for the NFL draft, y'all. So I appreciate y'all. If you haven't already, share the content, like the content, subscribe, let everybody know what we're doing. Like I said, the focus will be this upcoming season all purely here on YouTube. It's going to be on YouTube. So y'all going to probably go out there and be like, oh, Tuck went live. Why? I didn't see you. Because he wasn't subscribed to the channel, right? We've been giving out 5 years, y'all. 5 years. We've been giving out free lunches on Twitter, where I've been posting all this content, all these mock drafts, having all these conversations. People have been stealing and writing articles and beefing and this and that and this and that. At this point right now, it's, yo, you gotta come and be subscribed to the channel and be a part of the community, because I love talking to y'all. So I appreciate y'all, man. Cover 3 tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central. We got some other live shows lined up as well, and we're going to continue to have fun this off season. We ain't going to surf. We ain't going to ride the current. You know what I'm saying? Tuck ain't going to ride the current, right? But we're going to keep it real and have real football conversations for real passionate Dallas Cowboys fans that just want to win. We just want to win, right? We don't want to be misled, right? Or we don't want to be lied to. We just want to come out and find ways that we can help our team win. We are tired of losing, y'all, and we bleed this team, unfortunately. So you got my Jimmy Johnson. So I cleaned out my closet because my daughter's coming back from college. So I was cleaning out my closet. Me and the wife were cleaning up the house. I have so much Cowboys gear. I forgot I had this fire-ass Emmitt Smith Mitchell and Ness jacket where it's like white and has Emmitt number on there. It's like Emmitt scoring a touchdown on the back. It still has a tag on. I was like, when did I buy this jacket? And I was like, I don't know. I got this cold-ass Emmitt Smith jacket. I forgot I got this from when Jimmy went into the Ring of Honor. It was still in a package, like scrunched up in a box somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, just is what it is, man. But I appreciate y'all, man. Like I said, follow me on all social media platforms at JTuck151. But most importantly, make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel, because this is where all our content will be, man. I want everyone to stay safe, stay blessed, stay encouraged, and go Cowboys. And running backs do matter. Don't let anyone tell you differently. Peace.